Welcome to the Run Shoe Diaries Podcast. This is where we talk about managing your time in ways that helps you accomplish your running goals. Lace up to get your race up. Let's get moving. Ho, ho, ho. What's up, everybody out there running on native land? And welcome to the Run Shoe Diaries Podcast. I am your host, Luis, aka Rental Claus. And this is episode number 10, the season 1 finale special Christmas edition. Let's go. Thank you for spending some of your Christmas time listening to the show. If you love running, you're in the right podcast. And if you love Christmas, you're in the right episode. So lace up to get your race up and let's get moving. We're at the starting line with the guests from season number 1. We'll talk to each and get an update, talk to them about Christmas, and maybe even get to hear them sing just a little bit. Then we'll come together for a Christmas theme 5 to stay alive. So be sure to stay till the end because we have a gift for every runner and listener out there. And so, without further ado, Bryce, John, Scott, Verna, Joel, Justin, Erica, and Phyllis, thank you for rejoining us here on the Run Shoe Diaries Podcast. We're going to jump right into it with an update from Bryce Denton. Let's go.
Hello, Ranta Claus. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, man.
All right, so let's get warmed up. These are going to be called the Fast Five, and these are rapid fire questions that'll give us some quick insight about you. Are you ready, Bryce?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Here we go. Trails or roads?
Trails.
Medals, buckles, or challenge coins?
Ooh, never had a buckle, but want one.
What is success for you?
Having fun on the trail.
What is some advice that you would give your younger self?
Don't worry so much.
What is something positive happening in your life right now?
Decided to move away from racing a little bit and focus on mountaineering and planning my own adventures.
Nice. Well, hey, Bryce, you're going to be my first update, and you're from episode number 1. How's it going?
Good, man. It's been crazy few months. I mean, I can't remember when we did it. It feels like it was so long ago.
Right?
It's been good. Real good. Everything's been great here. Just ran my first ultra with my partner, Jenny.
Nice.
It was a blast. It was also the first team race for Mountain Ultra, which is also really cool.
That is super awesome. You know, you were my first guest on this podcast, and vice versa. I was the first guest on your podcast. And like you said, it seemed like such a long time, but man, we come such a long way. And it's already, you know?
The year of the overachiever.
Yeah. I had to get used to hearing my own voice, you know, and it definitely took me a long time to get used to hearing it. You know, now it doesn't bother me so much, but I remember listening in the early episodes and like I could still go back and hear them, but I remember being so uncomfortable and nervous.
Yeah. I don't mind hearing my voice as an interviewer. Hearing my voice as the interviewee, though, feels different. I don't know why.
Hey, Bryce. So what have you been working on or accomplished since your episode had aired?
As far as a lot of what we were talking about, like I said, we had our first team race with the Mountain Ultra 2021 team at Dead Horse Ultra here in November.
Okay.
And then we've also secured race fees for somewhere between 50 and 60 people for 2022 as well. So that, and like I said, just kind of focusing on this personal transition to a little bit more mountaineering and, you know, planning my own adventures in the mountains.
So I remember in your episode, you were mentioning a, what is it called? The Trans
Selkirks.
Yes. Are you still on board to do that?
Yes, which is I'm really excited about. It's basically it's a 5-day stage race with about 30,000 feet of gain and about 100 miles.
Wow. That's amazing. You know, and we talked about Mountain Ultra. The Crazy Mountain 100 is, you know, it's pretty much around the corner. And they've been posting, you know, the trails, the maps, and the buckle for that. Man, that is a beautiful buckle.
Yeah, that's a buckle that deserves like a nice little shadow boxing up on the mantle.
Yep.
That gets polished like at Christmas, you do with family events.
Yeah. Hey, you mentioned earlier that you and Jenny got to run your first ultra together, and that was Jenny's first ultra.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the Dead Horse?
Yes, the Dead Horse Ultra with Mad Moose events here November 20th.
Nice. Give us your experience on all that.
The part with Jenny was amazing. We spent about 12 of the 30 miles together. I had a very terrible day, but she did not. And so she finished quite a bit earlier than me, but it was really awesome to share some of those early miles with her. And I'm glad I got to help someone who's quite a bit faster start out slower so that she was still there at mile 30. But I'm just extremely proud of her. And it was so cool to see the look on her face and see some of the pictures people had taken of her at the finish line. I wasn't able to see it with her, but I'm hopeful in the future we can find a race together.
Oh, definitely. On Instagram, you posted this, and it really hit hard because these words explain the spirit of ultra running. You said, but I also know that even if her day goes terribly wrong, there is next to no chance we won't finish this, as we've been experts in resilience. And we know for one thing for sure, it takes a lot to knock us down. And so, later in miles, we know how hard those get. But anybody who finishes an ultra, man, kudos to each and every one of you. So yeah, Jenny, congratulations on that. And same to you, Bryce.
Thanks. It went the other way. I had everything went wrong for me and things went right for her, but we both finished.
That's awesome. And you got to meet some Mountain Ultra teammates there.
Yes.
Which runners were those?
Hopefully I'm going to get all this right. There was Heather and Lynn, Sandra, Patricia, Patty, Jenny, Tanya, Deneo, Daniel, and Sandra.
Nice. Hey, congratulations to each and every one of y'all. I'm super proud of every one of you.
Yeah, and it was the coolest thing ever. Like I helped run Packet Pickup as well, and so I got to meet a lot of people the night before.
Yeah,
when there was a little bit more time to talk, and then it was really cool seeing everybody off the next morning and seeing people in their kit and seeing people like meet for the first time and just that excitement after it was 8 months of chatting back and forth, and so it was really cool to see that energy. And,
definitely.
We had great results as well.
Nice. So you said you're taking a step back from racing for now, and what is your next venture?
I don't know yet. For a while now, like just chasing big mountains and getting up and over them has been what's been really exciting for me, which I think I mentioned on our first podcast. That's kind of how I trained.
Yeah.
And so I've been toying with the idea of combining some of my climbing skills and my, very rudimentary mountaineering with just faster running or faster traversing of mountains, so to say. And so I'm going to kind of focus on that, which should be good training for this Trans Selkirks, and also potentially pacing some people at the Crazy Mountain Ultra as well. Just focusing on big vert, and efficiently.
Thank you for the update, Bryce. Next, we'll get an update from episode number 2, John Medved. How's it going, John? And welcome back.
Going well, man. It's been a crazy year since the last time we've had the second episode.
Yeah, definitely. You ready for this one?
I believe so.
All right, here we go. Trails or roads?
Trails.
Medals, buckles, or challenge coins?
Challenge coins.
What is success for you?
Family.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Never give up.
What is something positive that is happening in your life right now?
I'd have to say just my family's support.
Definitely. I love that. Great answer. Hey, so John, question number 1. What have you been working on, or what have you accomplished since your episode?
I've been more focused about me since the last time we talked. I kind of dipped off a little bit from like competitive running. I've done a couple competitions and 5Ks here and there, but I've just been more trying to find myself in the last few months, and been really geared and focused on who I am and where I want to go in life. And so being 34, I'm running out a lot of options as far as my career goes, not with running, but professionally. So just a lot of soul searching there. I tried to seek a career in law enforcement, so still kind of working on that. But recently took up a new opportunity, and excited to see where that's going to go. So
that's awesome, John. Good luck on all that. Hey, and if you ever need any support, resume writing or anything, I'm here to help, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So the Springfield Area Memorial Stair Climb is a way for the firefighters and the community to honor and remember the New York firefighters who selfishly gave their lives in response to the terrorist attacks on 9/11. Each participant pays tribute to the FDNY firefighters by climbing the equivalent of the 110 stories of the World Trade Center. This event symbolically completes the FDNY's heroic journey to save the lives of others while remembering Engine 343, which is Engine Company for the Fallen. You completed this with a sandbag?
Yes, I did. So they had it set up this year where you do laps throughout the Missouri State University
Oh, wow.
stadium.
Yeah.
So you're going up and down stairs, and I've done it before, and I've done it with, I believe, 50 to 60 pounds worth of weight. This
Yeah.
year I amped it up to close to 90, and I didn't complete it all the way through. I did 2 laps with 90 pounds, and my legs were just jello by
Wow.
the third lap. So I was 3/4 of the or 2/3 of the way done. So I just, for safety reasons, and it's not about trying to push my limits, but trying to go through the emotions of what weight those firefighters and first responders were carrying
Right.
as they climbed the towers. So I'll never know what they were going through or what they were thinking about, but
Yeah.
I wanted to honor them in a way that pushes me as close as I can think of. And yeah, I don't know which was worse, that second to last lap and just having to dump off the weight for safety reasons, or the week after that trying to go
Yeah.
walk around. My legs are smashed. So yeah.
Well, that's awesome, John. Man, I saw the pictures up and everything, and the finisher photo was pretty amazing and everything. But the picture with you carrying that sandbag up that, man, I was just like, I can't even. I mean, kudos to you on that, bro.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that what kept me going was, I know that I'm going to survive this, but them
Yeah.
walking in with the weight of not knowing what's going to happen,
Yeah.
I can't imagine that. So
Man, John, thank you for doing that and everything.
absolutely.
Question number 3. Ruck and Run is doing some amazing things, and y'all definitely have me motivated. That being said, I signed up for the 2022 Ruck and Run series. Tell me what I'm getting into.
So we're still working a little bit on adjusting some things and
Okay.
adding a couple things to it. And tomorrow, George and I will be sitting down and discussing the finishing details to that.
Okay.
But the Ruck and Run series is a 12-month series. And each month there's a challenge designated for the month, and it's themed. So you can do it however way you want to do it. So we'll use January as an example. It's the Nordic Ruck and Run.
Okay.
And so a lot of the exercises you'll do throughout the month, or however way you want to do it, they would be something you would see like a Viking doing, like log carrying.
Oh, wow.
I have in there wood, like 30 minutes of wood splitting. But if you can't do wood,
Yeah.
do sledgehammer tire slams or whatever. So
Yeah.
stuff like that. If you want to be a crazy hardcore person, you can do it all in one day. Or if you can't, you can
Yeah.
just divide it up throughout the month, however way you see is fit. So it's for all levels. It doesn't have to be somebody as extreme as you and I doing, the crazy distance with it in one setting. It can be
Yeah.
split up. So there's a couple different other challenges. One's military kids ruck and run, and that is a special one for Ruck and Run because it raises funds for a scholarship that we present in November on our on the actual annual Ruck and Run event.
Yeah.
So the money from that goes to the scholarship funding, and then Memorial Ruck and Run, the money for that goes into our in their honor funding
Okay.
for families of the fallen. And
Yeah.
then all the money we raise for the annual event, Ruck and Run, goes into our honoring those who serve funds. So throughout the year, we have 3 different charities we've created that saves money. And that Ruck and Run series helps us with our mission with that. So throughout the year, so that way
Heck yeah.
we're not relying solely on sponsorships, but we're also sustaining throughout the year with funding. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Hey, I saw the video on the the last annual Ruck and Run. Which number are y'all on now?
This is that was the 7th annual,
Okay.
and we're migrating into the 8th annual.
Nice.
Which is
and
this 7th annual shirt right here.
Nice.
Yeah.
So speaking of shirts, the color shirt you have corresponds to the number of years that you have run the annual?
Yeah, so part of the uniform for the annual event, and we have a shadow option. So if you can't make it out to Republic, Missouri,
Yeah.
for the annual event, we have the virtual option, so you can do it anywhere at any time. So
Yeah.
but Ruck and Run is so detailed oriented that we have specifics for everything. So there's little Easter eggs and all the design work and all this stuff. So one of the things that you just brought up, it coincides with that. And so we have an actual annual Ruck and Run uniform. And so I started with Ruck and Run the 2nd annual. So every year I wear my 2nd annual Ruck and Run. That's part of my uniform. So if you've done the 4th annual and that's your first year, that's what you wear on the annual event. And this being your first year, you'd wear the 8th annual every year after this.
So. That is awesome. So I am going to be there in person next year.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for this one. Like I was saying, I was watching the videos. Anybody out there in podcast land, go to Ruck and Run and watch these videos, man. I tell you, man, the drill sergeants all up in your face and, telling you to, get moving. They're motivating you. Just watching the videos alone were motivating me. And I was just like, man, here we go. Signing up. And we're planning to make that trip next year as a family. We'll all be up there competing. So
amazing. We would love to have you guys. And I know you're down in Texas, so it's not too far.
Right.
So, but yeah, that'd be awesome. Just so you know, we don't just have the main event on Saturday. We also do a camp out the night before. So if you're really a hardcore person, we do a campfire the night before. We roast s'mores, cook hot dogs and stuff, and then everybody can set up tents, and then you're all ready to go in the morning. So
definitely. We're gonna do the whole 9 yards. We're gonna be there.
Awesome. Well, glad to have you.
Yeah, definitely. All right, John, that's all the questions that I have. Is there anything you want to add before we move into the Christmas themed questions?
Well, I do want to bring up one thing that I did over the summer. And that was, I believe, June. June is when I did the 30 days of Ruck and Run. So every day for 30 days, all month of June, I honored a service member that I coincidentally know, or each day I ran the Ruck and Run 5.56 and did the exercises. I actually, I did a lot of my friends and families, and I even honored you. So
thank you for that.
Absolutely. And that's the stuff that kind of has been motivating me lately, is a way to push myself, but pay homage to people who reassured that I have the freedom to make all these choices and stuff. So I really appreciate your service.
Oh, definitely. Hey, and thank you for your support, John. What you did in June, we as veterans seriously appreciate that type of support and everything. So keep doing what you're doing, man. It is definitely motivating and inspiring and supporting us. So thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you for the update, John. Next, we'll get an update from episode number 3, Scott Flatley. What's going on, Scott?
How's it going?
Good.
Glad to be here again.
Good, man. Hey, so we're gonna jump right into it. This is going to be called the Fast 5. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Trails or roads?
Trails.
Medals, buckles, or challenge coins?
Oh, buckles.
What is success to you?
Dedication.
There you go. What advice would you give your younger self?
Believe in yourself. Work through the challenges that are going to come up.
And what is something positive happening in your life right now?
That I'm breathing, have a good job. I have a great family, great wife.
Yeah, definitely.
And I have awesome students.
There you go. I love it, man. Hey, so this is going to be update from episode number 3, Scott Flatlip. How's it going, buddy?
Good. Glad to be here.
Good, man. Hey, so what have you been working on or accomplished since your episode has aired?
Oh, when was it when we
Ooh,
had the
man,
last one? A lot though.
Good.
Like in July, I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was July.
I accomplished a lot. I mean, I did a couple of races here and there, and got invited to do a couple of races, and the biggest one has been the Sowatch 50-50.
Yeah,
That was the one where I really, I guess, was recently in September, and so that was a pretty fun challenge.
yeah. We talked about that in your episode, and that's the 2 back-to-back 50Ks through the Colorado Sawatch Mountain Range, right?
Yep.
Give us your experience with all that.
It was interesting. I mean, I've run a lot of races, and I've done one 100-mile.
Yeah.
And each race has its own challenges. It has its own obstacles. It has its own things that come up. And the biggest thing was having to race back to back,
Yeah.
back to back, one after another. And so, like, most times you're like, oh, I have Saturday to run, and then the next day I can just rest or recover or whatever.
Yeah.
And so the challenge was traveling. So I drove all the way down there.
Yeah.
And so that was quite the drive. I think it was about, I don't know, 8 hours or 9 hours to get there. That was pretty challenging. The first day was a lot of rolling hills.
Yeah.
Not as much climbing. There was still a lot of climbing, but it was mostly rolling hills.
Yeah.
So I was able to go a little faster. Then the next day, it was like recover, just go straight back to the tent. I was the only one that camped too. I mean, as far as like,
Really?
in a tent, yeah. And it was
Yeah.
funny because I got to the KOA, and people were like looking at me like I was crazy because I was setting my tent up.
Yeah.
And then they were looking at me like I was crazy, and I was like, am I not supposed to be in this area?
Yeah.
Is it going to be cold tonight, or like why am I being stared at,
Yeah.
And it was because I was camping, they're like, oh, this guy's crazy. But coming from Montana, I was like, oh, it's not going to be that bad. I'm not going to freeze to death, so I'll be all right. And then that next day, then it was right back into another challenge, and it was like that one, the second one, the Sowatch Ascent. That was the one that was the most challenging.
Yeah.
I think we climbed like up to 13,000 plus.
Oh, wow.
Almost 14. We almost got up to one of the 14ers. They call it the 14. And that was one that was really challenging. I climbed a lot before.
Yeah.
But this particular race had 11 or 10 miles of just up.
Wow.
Like just climb, like just straight up.
Yeah.
So that one was pretty gnarly going up. And then once I got to the top, just let it all loose down the mountain.
Yeah.
And that's where I made a lot of time up.
Good.
So that was challenging. That was a fun race. And then the biggest challenge was driving home.
Yeah.
Because I had work the next day.
Oh, wow.
And so I had to drive all the way back and then go right to work the next day. So I think I got home about like 2 a.m. or so.
Yeah.
And it was tough, I got out of the car and I was pretty stiff. And so then that next day that Monday I was feeling it. I felt pretty sore and pretty tired, but I still went to work and still did my thing, and
Yeah.
it was fun.
Man, no rest for the wicked right here. Hey, so I'm sure that's going to be a experience that you'll cherish for the rest of your life. But regarding that whole experience, is there any one part that'll stick out in your mind as being the most exhilarating or the most exciting?
I guess just the challenge, the back-to-back challenge. I liked that part a lot. It was almost like I felt like I was in a stage race.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then just the atmosphere,
Yeah.
being around the mountains and seeing big giant mountains. Like where I live, there's only hills, And
Yeah.
so I got there, and it was like nice big giant mountains, and it was like screensaver over here and another screensaver over there. And yeah, it was fun. It was like one of those moments where you're like, this is where I'm supposed to be, and this is what
Nice.
I'm supposed to be doing kind of
Yeah.
moment. So
Hey, if I saw this correctly, Bryce met you over there?
yeah, that's where I finally got to meet Bryce for the first time.
That's
He
awesome.
he fed me a pretty nice hamburger.
That's
Yeah,
awesome,
so
man.
it was pretty fun. It was nice to meet him. He's a pretty nice guy.
That's good, man.
That was it. So just that was I think my last race
Yeah.
for my season.
Yeah.
I'm in this kind of weird transition from like racing all year, and then I get to
Yeah.
this point where I'm like, okay, I need to take a break. I'm actually like I'm incorporating more lifting. Been playing a lot more basketball. Because
Yeah.
it's nice to kind of break those up, and it's kind of nice to kind of do something a little different, and kind of helps reset your
Right.
mind, helps reset your body, kind of sets that drive back into place. And then I've had a lot of success with that. So I'll start back up here in a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Are there any upcoming events that you're going to be running, or events in the works for Indigenous Trail?
So I'm currently planning Indigenous Trail and Native Women Running New Year challenge that we
Oh
started
yeah.
this past year. So we'll see how that one goes. I think we did like a 10K, half marathon, 8 mile, and 20 mile, or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So that's in the works. That'll be in January. And then we have our own little local race that we do. It's called the Cold Nose.
Okay.
Aba Chilia.
Okay.
So Aba is nose, and then Chilia is cold. So Aba
A
Chilia.
bad
So the
chili.
cold
Okay.
nose.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we have that race that we have been putting on.
That's good.
And that's about it. I mean, as far as plans and going forward, I have only one race I'm really kind of focused on, and that's the Crazy Mountain Ultra.
Yes, sir.
100 mile.
Yes, sir.
I want to do really well.
Yeah.
Being that we'll be running on my ancestral
Yeah.
lands, it'll be a great first time up the actual mountains, like getting to run through the
Yeah.
mountains. Every time we drive by there, I'm always like, one day I'll be able to run on that mountain. Or I always was like, one day there's going to be a race there and I'm going to run it,
Yeah.
whatever the distance. So then finally now it's in the works, and so it's going to be awesome. So that's my main focus right there. There's one local race that's kind of fun. It's called the Ultimate Warrior, and
Okay.
what it is you run 2 miles to the canoe,
Okay.
and then you canoe down. I think it's like a mile or two, I can't remember. And then you get out of the boat, and then you run an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a 10K or a 10 mile or 8 mile. It kind of changes all the time, so I never know.
Yeah.
And then you run to the horses, and then you ride horses 3 miles. I'm going to do it just for fun, just to be able to say that I did it, because that's one local race I've never done before.
Yeah.
So people are like, oh, he's probably just joking, but like in here and in here, I'm like, I'm going to do it, whether I do good or not. It's just to do it and finish and say, I did it, kind of deal.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I think it'll be
I
pretty
hear you
fun.
on that one. Yeah, definitely. So the Crazy Mountain 100, did you get to see the belt buckle?
I did. I got to put some feedback into that. The race director, Megan, had sent me that first one she had created, and I was like, this is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to be like too excited about it. So I was like, oh yeah, that's really cool, and that's if you have any other options, send them my way. But I said, I think if you go with this one, that one would be. I said I'd wear that one.
Yeah.
I was like thinking about how like movies are, like you're in a movie or something, and then they like, oh, like they cut my scene.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be too excited and then have my idea be shot down. So, but yeah, I had a little feedback on that.
That's good, man.
And so I
I'm
was
definitely
pretty
looking
excited
forward
when
to
she
that one.
posted the buckle. I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
I'd wear that.
Heck yeah.
So I'm excited to get that one.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. I looked at the map and everything, and it's a point to point.
Yep.
Yeah. So did we get picked up, or do I need to get somebody to drive out there and get me, or how does this work?
So you run to the top of the mountain, and then the helicopter comes and gets you, and then takes you to the finish line.
I wish it was that simple.
Yeah, but no, yeah. So we'll entirely run that whole mountain range which again is going to be tough, but it's going to be one of those challenges where you're like, I did that. And when I drive by there, I'll be like, remember that one time when I ran 100 miles up there? And then I can go back into like long time ago when Chief Plenacus was 9 years old. He went up to that, went up to that mountain range and fasted and had a great vision. And, to be able to be there and to say he was there. And then I got to run 100 miles there as the first inaugural race on the crazy mountains. I'm like, that's something to me, and some people are like, oh, that's but for me it's a big deal for me. I'm like extremely excited.
Thank you for the update, Scott. Next, we'll get an update from Verna Volker from episode number 4. Hey, Verna.
Hello, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Well, we're going to jump right into it. And this is the Fast 5. Trails or roads?
Trails.
Number 2, medals, buckles, or challenge coins?
Buckles.
Number 3,
I have one.
what is success to you?
Just finishing a race.
What advice would you give your younger self?
You should have ran sooner in life.
And number 5, what is something positive happening in your life right now?
I guess change, and even though I don't like change, I think that's pretty positive.
There you go. Well, Verna, what have you been working on or accomplished since your episode aired?
Well, I finished my first 100K about a month ago.
Yes.
So that's huge, I think. So.
Yeah, definitely. And we talked about that during your episode about how it was coming up and you were training for that. And you were using your trainer, Athlete Without Meat.
Yeah. Yes, Daniel. Yep. Mm-hmm.
There you go. So the Javelina 100, you finished 100K in that. Walk us through the whole experience.
Oh, it was pretty amazing. I have been training, and like I said, my coach is through Instagram, and he sends me a plan. He knows that I don't have elevation gain here in Minnesota. And so I did a lot of treadmill inclines. So I was spending hours on the treadmill, which I think helped me mentally. So different terrain, desert and heat, which I was afraid of. I wasn't afraid of the distance. I was afraid of the heat because that's the one thing that I'm not used to anymore.
Yeah.
But I had a great crew and pacer, all people that I met through Instagram who became family that weekend. And I'm so grateful for them. And now they're like, Verna, what's your next race? We're going to follow you. So that's coming up. So it was amazing. The first loop was great. It's like, I think 20 mile-ish every loop, 3 loops. Through desert, and I am so used to shade, so this was all exposed, and I was like, whew. So mentally my coach was like, you just need to eat and drink no matter what, even if you don't feel like it. So I was like, okay, just take his advice, and I trained by heart rate, and so I stayed at a heart rate of 145 the whole time. First loop was great. It seemed long, but then once you go to your crew, you feel kind of re-energized. Second loop was going to be the hardest. And I heard a lot of people say that because it's in the heat of the day. And I didn't realize it was 90 degrees.
Oh man.
And I was so happy about 5-ish when the sun went down. And I could tell all of us, I guess a lot of people dropped from the race and I didn't realize that, but I think the heat just got to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But, I often share this on my social media, is like, I was running for a purpose. I was running in honor of my father who passed away in 1977. I was running in honor of my 3 siblings who had passed. And also I was running in honor of my mother then, who was still living, for her health. And so for me, running, is not about like PRs or like, I don't know. It was just a different purpose of running in honor of them. And so I think that really helped my perspective, especially when I was like hot and just feeling really tired, that kept me going. A second loop, my crew met me, and that's when I had to take the headlamp and stuff with me. That was like the second. So first loop, I got in around like 1-ish, I think, PM, because I started at 7, probably got in about 1:30-ish PM. And then from there, it was like my next loop, I got in at 9 p.m. And so I had my headlamp. And then my third loop is when I had my pacer, Marlinda Francisco, which you might know, she's an amazing runner. She paced
definitely.
me. And third loop was hard because it was in the middle of the night and I was getting tired. My legs were getting tired. But Marlinda kept ahead of me and she's like, you can do this. And in that darkness, I just was like, I just got to keep moving forward. And somehow, at the end of that loop, you go up this little hill and then you hear the music because it was like a lively party and you see the hoka signs and you run up that hill and you see your crew all just cheering for you. And I remember my legs hurting so bad. But then somehow Marlinda said to me, you've got this. You can, this is all you, this is all yours. And I just remember my crew running by me with me. And I ran probably really fast than I thought I could. And I just pushed it through. And if you see my pictures on social media, I literally was in tears because I could not believe that I actually did this. And I think what really moved me was that I did this for the people that I loved. And so
definitely.
And so that was just really, I really had a good experience. And I can't believe, and I can say that this Midwestern, because I started running here in Minnesota, that I can actually run in 90-degree desert heat. So
there
that's
you
like
go.
something I'm very proud of, that I can actually do that. So yeah, that's my biggest accomplishment so far. And
That's
I only have
great.
one buckle. So, hey, that's pretty good. So
Yeah, definitely. Well, you have a big support group for this run. Outside of the social media family, who was physically there for you as a crew?
well, there was a lot of people. There was just people like Harold Benali, like
I saw
Sergio,
that.
Marlinda. I had Jenny, they're all from like Tucson area, Phoenix area.
Yeah.
That was really I did not know what to expect because Sergio kind of took that over and he's like, I have it taken care of. So I was like, okay, so I fly there. And Friday night I just met a couple of them, and then it wasn't until like Saturday morning when all those people showed up. And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
oh my goodness. And they just treated me like a queen, especially when I came through. They're like, sit down. And my third loop, I was really tired, but I remember Harold Benali telling me in Navajo, like my sister, like he was like, remember what you're running for. And because I remember Harold running the Boston Marathon for his late father. And he reminded me on my third loop, remember who you're running for and what you're running for. And that just really was moving to me. And so, and just a lot of people that came down cheering me on. And I felt like there was a lot of people that knew me through social media because I had all sorts of people running up to me like, oh, you're doing great. And I'm like, who are you? And they're like, I follow Native Women Running. And so
That's
like,
awesome.
oh, thank you so much. So yeah, I'm really thankful. I'm thankful because I have health issues. I have knee issues, but somehow I accomplished that big task to me. So I'm really thankful for that.
That is awesome. Hey, were there any parts of the run that didn't go as planned?
No, I feel like everything went really well because I think, my coach, the way he trained me, I don't know how people don't train for these events. I mean, there was a lot of people that I would pass and say what they would say, well, I really didn't train for this race. I was like, how can you not train? So I feel like he really, my coach really got me ready for this. And I didn't, like he told me, he said, you don't realize how strong you are. And he's like, I have full confidence in you. And I would message him during like the race, and he was in Germany. So it was like he was available for me when I needed him.
That is awesome.
And so, yeah, I just feel like everything was probably beyond what I could ever imagine. And, that's my first like huge, I mean, I've done a 50 miler, but this was like my first like destination race.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I packed what I needed to. I had more than enough people. I had more than enough like food and drinks. And yeah, I think everything went well according to what I think. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. It seems like it. Can you explain the feeling of crossing the finish line and accomplishing a goal that you've worked so hard for?
Oh, it feels pretty amazing. I've, as you know, I have 4 kids, and every Saturday morning, I'm a crazy person. I would try to be at the trails at 4 a.m. or 4:30
Yeah.
a.m.
Wow.
because for me, I like to start early to get it done. And I had friends here in Minnesota who were willing to wake up and be there for me
That's
because
awesome.
I think I spent 20 plus miles every Saturday for the last 5 months running
Wow.
8 to 10 hours. And so to accomplish this race was like, I just can't believe I did that. I'm always shocked that I actually did that because I'm not a runner that started young, and
Yeah.
I never ran all my life. And also, I started when I had little ones. I'm older. I think maybe the experience of having 4 kids, I feel like I could do anything. So I don't know.
Yeah.
This was like, childbirth is much harder than running this race. So, um, but yeah, it feels really good. And I'm really still kind of on a high.
Yeah. You
After
should
like a
be.
month, I'm just like, yeah, this is great. Now I feel kind of bored. Like, okay, I need to do something else. So, but yeah, it feels really good to know that my training really paid off and that I felt good the whole
Yeah.
time of 22 hours of running. Yeah.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
awesome. Well, now that you finished 100K, what is next for you as a runner?
Well, right now I am going to possibly run a 60K maybe in February. So I'm just kind of
Nice.
waiting on some things, which will be in Arizona again. And so that's one of the races that I'm looking forward to. I really need to scale down. I mean, sometimes now people are like, are you going to run 100? With my knee issues and the health issues that I have, I don't
Yeah.
think I could do, maybe I could do 100, but I think I really have to scale down
Yeah.
back to 50Ks just because of issues that I have. And my doctor reminds me, if you want to
Yeah.
keep running, you probably should kind of scale down a little bit if you want to continue, which is something you don't want to hear, but I think that's what I need to do.
Well, amazing job out there. I'm super proud of you. Thank you for the update, Verna. Next, we would have had an update from Angel Tadytin from episode number 5. However, we were unable to get our schedules to match up. Therefore, we're going to move on to episode number 6, Joel Kennedy.
Hey Chico. Hey,
What's going on, Joel?
Oh, everything's going good. Just glad to see you again. Yeah.
Oh, definitely, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, so let's get warmed up with the Fast 5. Trails or roads?
Roads.
Medals, buckles, or challenge coins?
I'm on both those medals.
What is success to you?
Success is being healthy.
What advice would you give your younger self?
Just trust the process. Know that endurance running does take time.
And what is something positive happening in your life right now?
Just to say, and everyone's healthy in the family. You just gotta appreciate that.
That is awesome. Hey, welcome back, brother.
Yeah, glad to be back.
What have you been working on, or what have you accomplished since your episode had aired?
Yeah, so I accomplished my first 50K ultra marathon. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations, brother.
Yes, thank you. Then I got back out to Chicago again and finished the marathon. So actually my best time yet. So just continue to improve. So yeah,
That's awesome.
those are my 2 biggest goals so far, or goals accomplished, I should say.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, running the Chicago Marathon again, you ran this course before.
Yeah.
And now knowing what to expect from the course, how did this particular race compare to the prior ones that you've run?
I would say the biggest change for me was because I did it a lot quicker than my previous times. There was so much more crowd support. There was so much more interaction, and it was just a lot more energy that I got from the everyone out on the course. So I'd say that was the biggest thing for me. But yeah, it's great to know the course, know what to expect, and there's definitely some neighborhoods that are just awesome to run through.
That is awesome. Hey, I remember when we talked about the Chicago Marathon before in your episode, we talked about BioFreeze. Did you BioFreeze up again?
Oh yeah, I always got to hit up that BioFreeze place.
That is awesome, man.
It's at like the perfect spot too, because I think it's like 20 about 21 miles in. So yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, so I was looking on your Instagram, and there's a post there, National Coaching Certification Program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. So actually, I guess it's kind of been an interest of mine a little bit, but what I ended up happening was some of the members of the Indigenous Running Club, they reached out to me and asked if I could host a clinic. And I said, well, I'm not certified. I said, I'd prefer to be certified. So I started looking into it. And interesting enough, I ran into a person and they basically just told me, like, they are the person that certifies people. They're the contact. So, you know, I just happened to run into them. So I started the first initial step. So I still got a few steps to go, but the first one's done. So I'm happy to say that. Not certified yet, but I'm in the process of trying to do that.
Do you have an estimated time when you'll be complete with the whole process?
I think because a lot of the stuff, there's some stuff that has to happen in person, and they're not quite offering it yet.
Okay.
So I'm hoping, I would say I'm hoping by the spring.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, keep us posted on that, brother.
Yeah, for sure. It's something different, but you know, just I try to use my experiences to help people out, and now they want me to, you know, be a little more in depth and coach. So we'll
definitely
see how it goes.
Hey, also, I saw that you were a presenter at a conference.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, so there was this conference out in Manitoulin Island here, and one of the persons participated in a presentation I did virtually. So they asked me to come out to one of their conferences. It's all about well-being and health for parents and children. And so they asked me to present, and it was my first time presenting at a conference in a while. So it was just nice to share my story, just, you know, interact with people. And it was just great to connect and hear positive feedback. And, you know, hopefully I help some people and, you know, motivate some to, you know, improve their health.
Yeah, definitely. You know, like I get a lot of emails and everything about how much you're motivating. Your podcast has motivated people out there, and man, I'll tell you, you're doing an awesome job. I'm super proud of you, Joel.
Oh wow, that's awesome, man. I like to say thank you to anyone that reaches out, or anyone, you know, I really appreciate it. And I just feel like, you know, my journey, someone told me, they said you have to share it, and so I just started sharing it, and I can't believe the feedback I get. So
yeah, definitely, bro. Thank you for the update, Joel. Next, we'll get an update from Justin Gay from episode number 7. What's going on, Justin?
Good to see you, Chico.
Good to see you too, man. All right, so we're gonna start right off the bat with the Fast 5. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Trails or roads?
Trails.
Medals, buckles, or challenge coins?
Buckles.
What is success to you?
Success to me, that's got to come down to feeling like you accomplished something you worked really hard to get to, and that can take all different forms. But yeah, there's it's the process, and then success is kind of the the culmination of that.
Nice. What advice would you give your younger self?
Yeah, don't be afraid to aim high and to keep your goals higher than to what you think you can actually achieve, and usually you'll end up somewhere a little bit below. And I think hopefully I would have listened to myself.
Nice. What is something positive happening in your life right now?
Well, I'm sitting under this roof right now, and my wife and I were able to purchase our first home together this year, and we feel super grateful for that, and the support that we got for friends and family to make that happen.
I love it. Congratulations on that. Thanks. All right. Do you love Christmas?
I am a huge Christmas supporter and huge Christmas fan. So yes, I do.
Okay. Prove it.
Yep. Well, okay. Actually, I've got a little bit of a story to prove it, I guess.
Yeah. Go ahead.
When I met my partner, Shaylin, I'm not going to throw her under the bus here, but she was not a huge Christmas fan. And over the years that we've known each other, this year, she was the one who approached me to say that we need to go out and get our Christmas tree. And it was the weekend before I usually want to do that. So I think, I don't know. So hopefully some of my jolliness, some of my Christmas spirit has rubbed off on her. And she's shared too that some of my excitement has definitely rolled off and percolated into her.
That is awesome. Well done, sir. So what is the main dish during Christmas?
So on Shaylin's side, her family has always done tamales on Christmas Eve, which has become a new staple for me, which is awesome. Green chili and cheese for me. And on my family side, kind of our big thing was on Christmas morning, we made a big breakfast. So
nice.
Pancakes, syrup, hash browns, the whole 9 yards.
That is awesome. Hey, so how you been, Justin?
I've been good, man. I haven't really left this house much since I last chatted with you.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned before, I'm in the process of finishing up my PhD, and I hope to defend this upcoming spring. So I've been doing a lot of writing. So a lot of time in front of the computer and figuring out how to get that done in time, which things are looking good. But enjoying my time here in Wisconsin, figuring out trails and roads and finding new places to run. And overall, things are great.
That's good. You find a lot of good trails and places out there yet?
It's definitely a little harder than it was in Bozeman. I feel like the more time I spend away from Montana, obviously, the more I appreciate the access to trails and mountains and all the vert that was there. But there definitely are some gems here that I'm stumbling across, and had a lot of friends kind of point out some of their favorites and definitely getting a lay of the land.
That's awesome. So how's the whole schooling going right now?
It's good. It's a lot. It's the most pressure and the most stress that I've felt in the program so far, because the end is near and I know it needs to be done to get to the finish line. It's kind of like the last 5 miles of the rut is kind of how I'm when my buddy met me and brought me like the phoenix out of the ashes. So I'm kind of in that moment right now, but it's at the end is close, and I know it needs to get done, and now just putting the nose to the grindstone.
Man, that is awesome. I'm super proud of you, man.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. So what do you have next running wise?
So I think I mentioned last time that the kind of next event that I have actually on the schedule is the Berkey 50K ski race that's up in northern Wisconsin in February. And
have you been training for that?
So I've had a little bit of a total switch in my training regimen, and a few weeks ago was trying to manage a knee injury that popped up.
Oh, wow.
And so I've been I think it's just the transition from trails to roads. I'm trying to figure out mileages and kind of intensity and how to mix in like interval workouts and trying to find those hills. So that's been a little tough, but I've been focusing more on kind of some strength training and some core training for the skiing specific focus part of the race, obviously. But I haven't put anything on the schedule for running because if I'm focusing for like the April-May timeline to be done. And I really want to make sure I put all my effort into that. My goal is to run at least one race this upcoming year, whether that's a 50K or 50 miler. Kind of what I'm shooting for.
Well, that's awesome, man. Like always, you got my support. You got this, bro. Thank you for the update, Justin. Next, we're moving on to episode number 8, Erica Thomas. What's going on, Erica?
Hey, how are you doing today?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing well too.
Good. All right, so we're going to start this off by doing the Fast 5. Are you ready?
I am.
All right, number 1, trails or roads?
Trails.
Medals, buckles, or challenge coins?
A buckle. I guess you like buckle, like you fall over at the end?
Like a finisher medal, a finisher buckle, or a finisher coin?
Oh, maybe a medal?
Okay. What is success to you?
Success to me in running is just getting outside and doing it, even if it's just for 20 minutes or however much time or energy you have for that day.
Number 4, what advice would you give your younger self?
The advice I would give my younger self is to not compare myself so much to others, and don't think that just because someone else is doing something, it means I can't do it if I don't see myself doing it that exact way.
And number 5, what is something positive happening in your life right now?
Okay, you might have to edit this one.
That's okay. Come on.
So I'm approaching. This is a good question. I'm approaching final season. So it's very, very hard to find something positive in my life. Because everything seems like doomsday is coming.
Yeah.
But I would say a positive thing in my life is music and the support from my family and friends.
That's great. Well, do you love Christmas?
I do. I do love Christmas.
Prove it. Listener beware.
Listener beware. If you have kids in the room,
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs. I love Christmas so much that even when I was a little kid and figured out Santa Claus was not real, I didn't tell any of my friends. And I said, I think Santa is just the spirit of giving.
Wow, nice. Let's see. So, what have you been working on or accomplished since your episode?
So I've just been in a big recovery stage, running. The rut was the biggest race I'd ever done. I did have some issues with my left leg following the rut. So I've mostly been working on finding time to still run despite a really demanding schedule.
Yeah.
And that has looked like just quick hour runs whenever I have time, and also motivating myself to still get out and run, even though I'm not close to any trails. It's all pavement nearby.
Yeah.
But I've been able to do that by finding running friends.
Yeah.
And so if there's like a week that I know maybe I'm not feeling as motivated, I'll make a running date, and that kind of holds me accountable to get out and still run.
Nice. How's school going?
School's tough. We're in it. There is a certain energy at the law school right now with finals, and it is not a good one. But actually, I ran today, and it was just such a reminder of how important it is for me to just keep a positive attitude and really remind myself what's important in my life. And that goes beyond school.
Yeah,
so it's
definitely.
good.
That's awesome. What is a main course on the traditional Christmas dinner for Erica?
So my family has a tradition growing up. We would always make pasta from scratch on Christmas Eve. And,
nice.
And that was it. So that was really fun. And we always do that each Christmas.
That's awesome. You still do? I mean, does your family still carry on that tradition?
We do. I think we do. There was one Christmas, we do carry it on. Last year was a little different with COVID. We were all apart for Christmas, so we didn't do it last year.
Oh, totally understand. What is a female turkey called?
Oh, I don't know.
That'll be a hen.
Really?
Unless I'm wrong.
No, I don't think so.
If there's any listeners out there that know the answer, and if it's not a hen, let me know. What is the name of the skin that hangs from a turkey's neck?
The gobble? I guess that's the sound they make.
A waddle.
A waddle. Okay.
Yes. All right, last turkey question. Make your best turkey sound.
Bok, 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 bok.
Erica, I think that's a chicken.
It is a chicken. That was all I knew how to do, and they seemed close enough, so I went,
Okay.
with that.
All right, so in my mind, a turkey sounds like.
That's amazing. That is a great impression. Actually, so this is funny. Davis is a town in California. It's where I live.
Okay.
And there are all these wild turkeys throughout the town. Like
Really?
you will be biking home or driving, and traffic will be stopped because there's just like a herd of turkeys
What?
crossing the road. Yeah.
That is
Honestly,
crazy.
I could probably walk around for a little bit right now and go find some. But I keep my distance. Turkeys, people might not know this, but turkeys can get aggressive. I have been charged by a turkey before, and I was a kid. Yeah, it was not a great. I think the turkey was about as big as I was, so I was pretty scared.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Erica, finish these lyrics. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Prospero año y felicidad.
Nice. You got it. I saved that question specifically for you, and I thought I was going to stump you on that one, but good job. You got that one.
Thank you.
Thank you for the update, Erica. Next, we're moving on to Phyllis Stanley from episode number 9. Hey, Phyllis.
Hi. Good to
How
see
are
you.
Good to see you. That thing was like shedding on me.
It looks very uncomfortable.
It is. All right, so we're going to kick this off with the Fast 5. You ready?
Yes, let's go.
All right. Trails or roads?
Trails.
Medals, buckles, or challenge coins?
Oh, buckles.
What is success for you?
Success is being happy and content.
What advice would you give your younger self?
Oh, go chase your dreams, your passion.
What is something positive happening in your life right now?
Oh, everybody's healthy. My kids are healthy. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. So it's great.
That is awesome. Well, Phyllis, thank you for rejoining us here. How you been?
I've been good. How are you?
I'm great. It's Christmas, and this is my favorite time of year. So, I mean, it probably goes without saying. You can see how much emphasis I'm putting into this episode. It's Christmas.
I know. I'm a little intimidated because we haven't even gone to the Christmas spirit. We're a little behind.
I've been telling everybody in our family, the moment that we can watch The Nightmare Before Christmas, it is just Christmas the rest of the year for us.
Wow.
Yeah. So what have you been working on or accomplished since your episode aired?
Well, life, right? Life is crazy. Life is busy. So what did I do I did run a 50K. That was kind of a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I was on Instagram, and then I saw a story by one of the running groups down in Oregon, Daybreak Running Group, and I saw one of the stories saying it's the last day to register for a 50K. And I totally forgot about it. And then they said, "Oh, we got the race numbers like 2 days later." And I responded and saying, "Oh shoot, I forgot." And they opened it back up just for me, so I signed up and ran it. So that was fun.
That is awesome. What race was that?
It's called Cape Mountain 50K. It's over in a place. It's on the Oregon coast in Florence, Oregon. It's really beautiful.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So how did you do in that?
Well, I realized that I really need to get my act together and work on, get back to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little rough, to be honest. Especially some of the vert sections that was a little painful. But before 50K, that was that felt a little too long, but I got it done.
Well, that's good. What else? You've been cooking anything?
Well, that's typical. It's weird because leading up to Thanksgiving, it seems like certain things were just happening, things coming up with my kids. So it's just been like every day has just been trying to make it from, make it through. And so it's been really a weird time. But I mean, running wise, I mean, that 50K was kind of a wake up call. Just trying to be a little bit more consistent. And with the shorter daylight hours, it's a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to incorporate a little bit more like strength training when it gets dark.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Actually, that's kind of been a theme with the past guests that I'm talking to. I think we're all kind of was needing that break and everything. But yeah, and I'm right there with you. Like I took the whole month of November off just to refocus and everything, and I need to start getting back into that working out mindset, getting training back in order.
Yeah, it's tough once. I mean, the whole change in the time of the year. You got weird things come up, like kids have concert, they have things that come out to school, and you just
and then all of it pops up like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, by the way, we have, a basketball game or a basketball tournament or this concert or this parade. I'm like, hold on. Like, I'm pretty sure the school wouldn't have like dropped this on us. You probably didn't bring the note home or something,
Yeah, there's a lot of that happening lately.
Yeah. So what else do you have moving forward? What is your next running events?
So the reason why I was a little taken back by 50Ks, I have Orcas Island 100, which is the first weekend in February. And I realized, oh my goodness, that's just around the corner. I better get to work. Yeah. So that kind of, made me realize, hey, I can't slack off too much.
Right.
Because since doing the last race which was Bigfoot 200, I just kind of went in a really relaxed mode and really haven't been working. Like once in a while I go for long runs or do things like that, but nothing really consistent until the 50K. And it's like, oh, well, that's just right around the corner. I need to get back to work. So that's coming up in February. So just been kind of focused on that. And I went to their website the other night and looked at a YouTube video and realized there's over 26,000 feet of elevation gain. And I thought, that's not easy.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of elevation gain, did you watch 14 Peaks?
I did. That's the story. I put a story out there because I watched it. And I like, you guys have to see this. So yeah, it's really good. It's a great eye opener, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, bringing awareness to the climbing culture. I think it's really good. Yeah.
When I was watching it in my head, I was thinking like climbing a mountain, I've done it plenty of times, either through running or being a firefighter, a wildland firefighter.
Yeah.
And then I watch it and realize once they get above what is it, 8,000 feet?
8,000 feet, yeah.
Once they get so high, they have to start cycling oxygen bottles and the masks, and it's just something I've never been exposed to, and I'm just like blown away by all the stuff that they did and everything, and they're literally above the clouds.
Yeah,
it was just amazing.
It is. It's incredible. I think it's really inspiring, and I like the part about it got a little teared up, especially at the end, with his mom. Yeah. Because there's some similar. I mean, everybody experiences loss in their family, right? Because that's just a given. Like it just people go at some point. Everybody experiences that journey.
Yeah.
But that was like losing a parent. It's like I can relate to that. So I'm sure a lot of people can relate. But I also like the part where he, really brings out the whole like sheds light on the fact that we're not ghosts. Don't just refer to us as Sherpas. We're people.
Yeah. He's like, we have a name.
Yeah. And I thought that really also, there's similarities to like, Native people, right?
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Yeah, it was the message is very resounding and everything. And anybody out there, if you have not watched 14 Peaks, it's on Netflix. Go watch it. It's amazing.
Yes.
Thank each of you for those updates. And now it's time for the Christmas themed 5 to Stay Alive.
Oh
Are you ready for this one?
Oh, I'm very ready for
All
it.
right. What plush toy is known as a little tattletale?
Is it the Tickle Me Elmo?
Oh, that's good old our Jingles the elf on the shelf.
Elf on a shelf.
Oh, is it Elf the Shelf?
I would have to say those elves that everyone has. You know, the elf on the shelf.
I was hoping you weren't going to ask this one because I have no idea and I didn't want to Google it.
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. I don't have an idea.
No
Honestly,
idea?
I don't.
It is
The Elf on the Shelf.
Yes. Do y'all have one?
Yes, we do. Jenny's little one, Nelia, has one, and it's funny. There's Elf on the Shelf, and then Beebs. There's a second Elf on the Shelf that was dressed up like Justin Bieber, the glamorous Elf on the Shelf.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, so does Elf on the Shelf, does it work? I mean, does it make the kids behave?
I mean, does it make any? I don't know about that, but it's fun as parents to make them do crazy stuff. I think last year, one night, Jenny and I hung them from the chandelier, like not a chandelier, but like a dangling light, and had them like looking like they were in cliffhanger, like reaching as if they were gonna fall.
He's been known to do some things mischievously. He 1 year he put flour all over the kitchen, and then another year he wrote stuff on the kids' mirror with their toothpaste.
Later in the closer as it comes to Christmas, we get them into a little bit more mischief. We just start out a little bit, and then you know, they start making messes and that kind of stuff later on. So
I always wanted to make one. I always wanted to make like a indigenous elf, if you would say that, and then kind of have them do like some on the reservation kind of humor things. And then I'm like, I don't know, it might go the wrong way too.
Just call it Bustle with the Hustle.
Hey, yeah, there you go, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play a quick snippet of a song, and you tell me what song this is.
Okay. That was not enough.
Not enough.
That was it. Ding ding. That was it.
Yep.
That was it?
That was it.
Oh, I have no idea.
This is so bad.
Oh, I don't know.
One more time.
Oh, yes.
Oh, only my best and favorite Christmas song of all time.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's that Mariah Carey song. Yeah, Mariah Carey.
That's Mariah Carey. All I
Yep.
Want for Christmas Is You.
No.
Oh, Mariah Carey. This is Mariah Carey, right?
Yes.
Okay. All I Want for Christmas Is You.
I love that song so much.
Right.
That Mariah Carey song, All I Want for Christmas.
It's All I Want for Christmas by Mariah Carey.
Yes. People don't believe me, and even my wife was surprised that song is on my running playlist. Not just now, all year round.
It isn't Christmas until that song comes out.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Okay. Woo. Oh, man.
I almost got you on that one.
You did.
All right. Who is cuddly as a cactus? Who is charming as an eel?
Santa? I don't know. I should know this.
Nothing.
In my household?
Oh my gosh. He's my favorite, the Grinch.
Oh, is that the Grinch?
Grinch?
Oh, the Grinch.
Mr. Grinch.
Mr. Grinch?
Mr. Grinch. The Grinch.
Oh, Mr. Grinch, yes.
There you go. In the movie Elf, what is the first rule to the Code of Elves?
Oh, I just watched this on Saturday.
Oh, all I can think of is singing loud enough and clear.
Sing.
Oh, we should know this. We watch this every Christmas.
Yep.
Oh, I can't remember. Syrup, I don't know. I just remember like I don't know if that's even a rule. It's just something he ate.
And that's my wife's favorite movie too, and I don't even remember.
Oh no. It's gotta be something about being nice and jolly or working hard, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, I have not seen that movie in a long time. I just remember he put sugar on everything, so I'm gonna go with that.
Oh, this is probably your rule. You know, treat every day as Christmas Day. I love that movie.
Yes. Oh
Yeah,
man, that's amazing.
Oh, tomorrow night at 10 a.m. Santa's gonna be here, and then he's like, Santa! And he's just like so excited, like that.
Yeah,
That's,
I know
that's the
him.
part.
I know him.
I know it. Yeah.
Question number 5. We're closing out season number 1. In your own words, give the running community a positive message to motivate and inspire them to stay focused on their running goals.
Have fun. Tune out the noise of everybody's an armchair expert. If it's something you enjoy, you can call it training.
Keep pushing, find what motivates you and keeps you positive, whether it's your family, friends, diet, whatever's going to keep you happy and consistent, to stay in that routine of things.
Believe in your abilities, believe in your training, make sure you have fun. Find something that you enjoy, whether it's the sunrise or the sunset. Find those things. Find a friend who will help support you in your running journey, that'll tag along. Maybe they riding a bike, running with you, riding a horse, riding a reindeer, I guess. And listen to your body. It's okay to take a day where you're not running, where you're not pushing yourself, and it's okay to keep your hard days hard, and it's okay to push the hard day to the next day.
I think just embrace where you are in your running journey. I always say that on Native Women Running is some of us are, ultra runners. That's why I love Native Women Running. So just celebrating everyone's accomplishment, whether they're starting out, whether they're just maybe focused on 5Ks or road races, to embrace that journey that you're in, because I think oftentimes we want to compare ourselves to other people, but me too, I like just embrace where I'm at, and I think that's what I want every runner to know is like whether you are starting out or whether you are maybe running an ultra, just enjoy that, because you are a runner, and just knowing that maybe you're running only a mile, that should be celebrated. You are doing an amazing job, and so I think that would be probably one of the things I'm learning and embracing is like, this is my journey, and this is a great journey. And so I think with whatever journey you're in, you can always inspire anybody.
I think it's really important to have a plan, create a plan and understand with that plan comes work, stay committed to what the goal is, know that, there's a lot of people out there that are doing the same thing as you, and don't get caught up in anyone else's goal, focus on your own goals, and, stay true to yourself.
Just keep getting after it.
There you go. Don't ever stop, right?
Yeah.
It's the process is so important, and the ups and downs are just part of that. And being my first real year diving into training and kind of reflecting on that, it's all those memories of the hard days, and how they prepared me to get to the 2 race days I had, and they're all worth it.
Yeah, I think goals are hard because it's like this really forward-looking, where do I want to be in the future, and maybe where do I want to be now. But my positive message is wherever you are with your running is where you're supposed to be, and just a huge accomplishment in itself.
That was the Christmas themed 5 to Stay Alive. And as promised, if you stayed until the end, we had a gift for each and every one of you. As a gift, we will be reading the Christmas-themed runner's poem titled A Run Shoe Diaries Christmas. Enjoy.
'Twas the run before Christmas, and all through the trails, the runners were happy with their race fee sales.
Race medals were hung at the finish line with care, to be awarded to the runners that'll soon cross there.
Volunteers were nestled, lending their hands to the events. The runners stopped to visit, where salty snacks were presents.
Some runners in gaiters and some in a cap. Some runners running ultras and stopping for a nap.
When out on the course, I rode such a clatter. runners turning their attention to see what's the matter.
To the top of the trail, they ran like the Flash, except runners low on calories and starting to crash.
When what to their eyes should suddenly appear?
A shoe-shaped sleigh and 8 run deer.
The driver's also a runner. He's lively and quick. We knew without hesitation his name was Saint Nick.
He ordered out to the run deer, called each of them by name. They lined up so proudly, for running is their game.
Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen.
Run Comet.
Run Cupid.
Run Donner and Blitzen.
Around the course goes Ranta Claus and team,
rallying up the runners to accomplish their dreams.
Motivation for runners entering the dark place.
But electrolytes for all, even those on pace.
A few last hills so rugged and steep.
A few last miles, it's time to dig deep.
Ranta clears the course to ensure no one is left.
Runners and dreamers, there's no DNFs.
One last turn, Ranta led the runners around.
Picking up the pace, for now they're homeward bound.
'Twas a long, cold run, and they all went through hell.
One fist in the air, cross with a smile and a yell.
Ranta and his run deer congratulate and sing,
tagging Run Shoe Diaries with their new race bling.
Race medals for all.
Run selfies and cheer.
For this is the team that only runs once a year.
Thank you for the run.
But before we lift and go,
my gift to you is in these words that I bestow.
We all had different style, different sizes and speeds.
We all use running to satisfy different needs.
There's room for us all.
Always be each other's keeper.
Cause without a team, every mountain is steeper. Keep the running spirit alive.
From your team, never drift.
Race medals are great.
But running is the gift.
Keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Keep your goals in sight.
Merry Christmas to all.
And to all a good night.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the gift. Now, I'm not going to redirect you to the store or tell you to go like and follow us. But I am going to take this time to give special thanks to each and every one of my guests, every runner and every listener out there. You have made season 1 a huge success for us, and we couldn't be more grateful for your support. So until season 2, I leave you with these 2 things. The first is to remember that with each step comes the decision to take another. So keep putting one foot in front of the other, because it's amazing what you can do on your own 2 feet. And the second thing is to understand that every run isn't perfect. But like these podcast bloopers, you find joy in doing what you love. So laugh with us. And again, thank you and Merry Christmas. Ranta Claus signing out.
A shoe slapes. Shoe.
Christmas magic. Excuse me, I was like squeaked on that one.
I have been charged by a turkey before. That's amazing.
A shoe slape. Shoe.
Can you tell I'm a teacher?
Yes, sure can.
How funny, I do have a pickle ornament.
Do you really?
A shoes.
That pickle from Bad Santa.
You checking it twice?
Now, I don't sing.
Why is there a pickle?
Where did this come from? Where did you hear about the Christmas pickle?
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Make
A shoe.